Hi there! Welcome to the video. I am Ngoc, a sophomore at Queen's University of Charlotte. I heard that the May Language Coffee event is coming up, and here I am applying to be one of the 6 hosts for the English portion. And I heard of this event through one of my friends, Jimeng. And yeah, let's get started! So, started with the first question, what are the components that I believe would lead to a successful speaking online event? In my opinion, communication plays a huge role in any event, especially for speaking online event. And when I say communications, I mean is more than just the interaction between participants and the speaker. As one of the hosts, I feel like it's very important for whoever's leading the event to actually maintain the engagement between whoever's speaking and the listeners. For example, if a new topic is being introduced to the floor and nobody actually wants to say anything, doesn't know what to say about the topic, or hesitate to say something about the topic, I think that's when the host jump in and maybe start to lift off the atmosphere and just encourage people to participate. And that's why I really like the format of 6 hosts, in which if I'm one of the hosts, we can really take turn to observe the flow of the event, the interaction, and jump in whenever we need to in order to maintain the interactions, the engagement between participants and the speakers. So to answer question number 2, as a host or supporter, what can I do to contribute to a successful event? In my opinion, my positive attitude and my willingness to learn are my 2 biggest strengths. So before coming in, I think it's very important for the host to have a positive attitude, even in the training process and throughout the entire the event, because speaking online event requires, as I mentioned earlier, the communication and the maintained interaction between the audience and the host. And it's very important for all of the people who participate. They feel like they are valued, they feel like they're not being judged, and they feel like they are encouraged to speak up regardless of their flaws. And in order to do so, I think the hosts have a very important role in which they show the positive attitude. They constantly remind people oh yeah, I'm really not judging you. This is for a practice space. Everyone feel free to practice. And such positive attitude really keep the flow of the event, allow everyone to keep moving on. And I think that's a very important thing in order to lead to a successful speaking online event. And my second strength, my willingness to learn, also come before and even after the speaking online event happened. I know that there's going to be some training section for this, and if I'm a person who wants to be responsible for anything I sign up for. So more than just showing up for the event and just speak out what I think I'm doing, I think it's very important for me to interact with my other host who would be selected for the event, and just for me to take feedback from people, maybe slow down a little bit when I'm speaking, or just to listen more to people when they're speaking, show more attention as somebody speaks. So my willingness to learn and my positive attitude in combination, I think, can lead to a successful speaking online event. Move on to question number 3. According to you, how should the host, supporter, participants interact throughout the events? What is the necessary attitude? In my opinion, respect is the utmost important attitude throughout the event. And it's not only the respect between the participant and a host, but also the mutual respect between the hosts for each other. So for example, if one of the hosts speaking and I abruptly interrupt them, it really shows that I'm not respecting my host and whoever they're speaking and whatever they're speaking about. And it also shows the participant oh, if I'm not willing to listen to my peers, one of the hosts, would I be willing to listen to them? And that can be a disencouragement, which can stop the interaction of the event. And furthermore, paying full attention is also a form of respect. So for example, if one of my participants is speaking and I'm playing on my phone and I ask pardon, what are you talking about again? It can be very discouraging for whoever's speaking, because they feel oh, maybe because I'm not relevant enough, or maybe because my pronunciation is really bad, that can be like such an embarrassment for them to actually repeat themselves. And yeah, so I think being respect in many form, like paying full attention and just encourage whoever is speaking, showing that you're listening, paying attention to detail, really show the respectful attitude that you have between the host and the participants. I would like to answer question number 5 first before number 4, and you will know why later. So yeah, question number 5, what are some experiences that I have in related events? Maybe since 6th grade? Just kidding. So I'm currently an orientation leader at Queen's University of Charlotte, and I have been for the past 2 years. As an orientation leader, my role is to introduce the upcoming students about the campus, like what are some resources, what are the buildings for, and just make them comfortable with the idea that they will be enrolled in this institution for the next 4 years. And this is such a relevant event because especially last semester, everything was moved online due to the pandemic. And this was such an awkward adaptation to many people because it's not the same between the interaction is not the same if you move online and moving in person. And I took this as a learning opportunity because I was able to strengthen my skills, especially my communication skills. I know how to interact better with students online, how to maybe keep their attention, and just to make 30-minute less stressful or less boring compared to what they expect like a normal orientation would be. And this experience really allowed me to strengthen my communication skills, and this is also the reason why I'm confident that I can be one of the 6 hosts for the English portion of the Language Cafe. So moving back to question number 4, why should Language Cafe pick me as a host or supporter? So as mentioned in my last response, my experience as an orientation leader really allowed me to have like a better idea of how to host a virtual event and how to maintain interaction, which is something very crucial for speaking online event like the Language Cafe. And I think my willingness to learn also come in place because I'm not afraid of feedback. I know that sometimes I can be speaking very excessive and I can speak very fast, so I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to listen to my peers, to listen to other feedback. And I think my attitude and my experience really allowed me to be a good host for this event. I can't believe it's the last question already. So yeah, what are some ideas that I have for possible topics and why does it choose such topic? So the first thing that comes into mind is online learning, burnout, and motivation. I feel like these 3 can be separate topic or they can come hand in hand because in this current situation, as we all know, the pandemic is still going on and many students have to adapt to the virtual learning environment, which can be difficult to study with your bed next to you, just to like sit in the same room for like days after days instead of like going to class, interacting with your peers. And I feel like we can talk about what are the possible conclusions that we can have for that. Maybe try to set up like a different room to study or just redesign your study space. Those small tiny things can really bring the difference to the participants, and maybe it's like a really relevant topic right now with everything that's going on. And the next thing that I have in mind is study abroad. Obviously, whoever participating in this event really care about English, their English pronunciation, how their English skills overall, and just some of them may be interested in study abroad and maybe doesn't know about the destination that they want to be. So as a person who like stay in the United States for the past 8 years, I can share my experience of how is it like as a student, like who first came to the United States, how was it like. And I know one of your co-founder, Mai, lives in Sweden, so maybe she can share her experience of what is it like living in like Sweden, like in a foreign country in Europe. And yeah, those are the possible ideas that I have, and Hope you guys like it.